Court is calling 2023 CR 1867, State of Texas versus Juan Lyric Garza. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
I will read out the state.
Defense?
For the defendant.
Are you Mr. Garza? All right, you are here for sentencing. You entered a plea to attempted indecency contact with a child on March 28th. You entered a plea of guilty. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. All right. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right. State, anything you wish to say?
No, Judge, we asked that you follow the plea bargain agreement. I understand that as of right now, the restitution amount is still pending as it relates to basically counseling and or medical records involving the complainant, the child complainant in the case. And so I ask that we leave that open for determination in the future if it needs to be ordered.
We're agreed with that, Your Honor. We're also agreed with the recommendations in the TAP evaluation. We're asking the court to follow the plea bargain.
Why should I follow this plea bargain agreement?
Well, Your Honor, number one, I believe my client is remorseful for what he has done. He did plead guilty to it and did plead guilty to it early on. This agreement was negotiated at arm's length with the state's attorney. There was a lot of back and forth, but I believe that the agreement that we made with the state really was in the best interest of all involved. The state was happy with it. We were happy with it. And it keeps, frankly, a child victim from having to testify. I do realize that, frankly, it is lenient, but it's not that lenient. My client's going to have to deal with the consequences of being registered. He's going to have to deal with the consequences of being on deferred adjudication. And he is going to have a 10-year prison sentence hanging over his head in the event that he doesn't comply with every condition that you give him. I do think that he will comply. I've represented him for a little while, and I've never had any problems with him. He's always been very respectful, and I think he'll be respectful to probation and to this court.
All right, state, and I'm assuming the complainant is aware of this offer?
Yes, Judge. According to the notes that I see within our system, we did talk with the mother of the child on March 29th of 2023, informed her of it, and based on the notes, she was content with the resolution and the plea bargain in this case.
All right, this is what the court will do. The court will sentence you to 6 years deferred adjudication as agreed to. There's to be no contact with the complainant. Chapter 62 registration. Restitution, if any, to the complainant. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Regular reporting in person or by Zoom. Regular UAs. Intensive outpatient treatment with probation. Who do you live with?
My parents.
Are there any children in the home? All right, counsel. Why shouldn't I give him jail time as a condition?
Well, Your Honor, the reality is perhaps you should, but we're asking that you consider the items that I mentioned before and show mercy on him. My client is gainfully employed. He does earn, I believe, a little bit more than $3,000 a month. And I think, frankly, I think it's not too often that we have somebody on probation that's gainfully employed from the get-go. And I would hate for the jail time to interfere with his ability to make a living and frankly, to pay for his obligations that are going to be owed towards this court. And likely the restitution obligations that are going to be owed towards the complainant. So I do think that it is essential and it's in the best interest of the victim that he be allowed to remain out and not be taken into custody so he could work to the fullest extent possible to pay his obligations, principally the obligations to the victim in this matter. Also, Your Honor, as I said before, he did plead guilty. He did so rather quickly. He's extremely remorseful for what he's done. And I'm asking that you take that into consideration and be merciful. If the court does order jail, I'd ask that you consider him for work release or weekends only. And Your Honor.
All right, the court is going to order 30 days in the Bexar County Jail as a condition with work release, and that is to begin on May 26th. So that will give you a chance to let your employer know that you're going to be in custody. I'll put work release. Counsel, if your client decides he'd rather not do work release, but just take vacation time or whatever from work, then just let the court know and I'll change this to just 30 days.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Your Honor, the Bexar County Jail does not do work release anymore. They're not doing it at this time.
All right, so it'll be on May 26th,
And how many days?
30 days. And counsel, you can always come back to me with regards to the work release. Maybe Bexar County Jail will change their status.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And if there's an issue with the work release, then I may have him just do it on weekends, so he won't lose his employment.
You have? Sometimes I do, but weekends are probably better. Yeah.
All right.
Your Honor.
You may not want to, I don't know why people walk through that line. I mean, they're
It
just
doesn't
asking to
look-
knock things.
It doesn't look like it's that far away, but it is. Your Honor, would you consider ordering weekends right now?
No. All right. I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. I'm sorry, probation. Is there anything else that he needs?
Your Honor, do you want field visits?
Oh, yes, please. Let's do field visits one time per month until further notice. I tell you what I can do, since probation is telling me that they don't have work release, I can do 60 days GPS then, and it will be partial and it will be for work only. Would
Yes.
you? All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So probation, what we'll do then, and I don't know why the jail is not doing that anymore. We will do GPS partial for work for 60 days.
And for the 30 days.
Yes. And then he'll be on the sex offender unit.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Juan Garza. All right, can I have the parties announced for the record?
Rick Maney for the same effect.
Meredith Chacon for Mr. Garza, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Juan Garza? Are you the same Garza who was placed on probation in 2023 CR 1867 for the offense of indecency with a child by contact for a period of 6 years on May 4th, 2023? Is that you? All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor, this morning we're here to place motion to enter adjudication of guilt without community supervision. Violation of condition number 15. On or about the 12th day of February 2025 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Juan Lyric Garza, did therein there failed to comply with the instructions of the Bexar County Community Supervision and Corrections Department Sex Offender Program and Chapter 62, and that the defendant provided the correct address in violation of condition number 15.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
State will waive all other violations.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 15, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty? And I'm sorry, off the record, the motion is incorrect. It should be an attempted and
Yeah, I thought the motion said it, because that was what the plea was.
Yeah, attempt to.
so if there's no objection to changing the motion or correcting the motion.
No objection from the state.
All right, you're back on the record. Mr. Garza, you're actually on probation for attempted indecency with a child by sexual contact. Did you understand that? All right, any objection to the motion being corrected? State,
Nothing from the state.
defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so did you understand by pleading true to violation of 15, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you to 10 years in the prison and up to $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 15? All right, is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor, that is for the defendant to serve 4 years in prison.
That is our agreement.
All right, are you asking the court to follow that agreement? Are you waiving your right to appeal? All right, the court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with minors. Chapter 62 registration. Was there any restitution determined to be paid?
I don't believe so, Judge, but I was not on the original case.
Okay. Probation? All right, because part of the plea bargain agreement, it said that he was to pay restitution towards any medical and mental health treatment for the complainant. All right. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
State, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.